Hi everyone, welcome to the session. In this series, we have been discussing about process costing. In today's session, I'll be discussing about how to deal with work in progress and weighted average method of calculating inventory. Okay, so what is the main difference between FIFO and weighted average cost method when you deal with opening inventory in process costing? So what is the main difference? Now, the main difference is when you calculate the opening inventory under FIFO method, first in, first out method, what we did was we took into consider the percentage completion regardless of the given percentage, we took the remaining percentage completion under FIFO method. However, under weighted average cost method, what we need to do is, first of all, we need to identify, okay, the work started and completed units. So then that has to be divided into opening inventory and completed units in the period. However, when you calculate the opening inventory, no distinction is made between opening inventory and new units produced. Okay, so what does it mean? Which means regardless of the percentage completion, okay, we need to consider the opening inventory as 100% completed. Okay, so opening inventory units count as a full equivalent units of production when the weighted average cost system is applied. Okay, so supposing, let's say, you are given the opening inventory as 1000 units. Okay, so this 1000 units completed percentage is given as to, let's say, material 90% and labor, let's say 80%. Okay, so how do you calculate the equivalent unit under FIFO method and weighted average cost method? So only difference is under FIFO method, since the material is completed 90% with regard to opening inventory, okay, we need to assume in the current process 10% to be completed. Okay, with regard to labor, since the opening inventory is completed 80%, in the current process, we need to assume as 20% completed. Okay, so because we apply first in, first out method. Okay, however, under weighted average cost method, regardless of this completion, since we are going to take the weighted average cost, okay, we have to take 100% completion under weighted average cost method. Okay, so this is the main difference between the FIFO method and weighted average cost method. Okay, I have already discussed a question with regard to FIFO method, so you can go back to my video and you can watch that particular video. Okay, now let's move on to the question in order to understand this particular concept. Weighted average cost method. McFin produces an item which is manufactured in 2 consecutive processes. Information relating to process 2 during September 2003 is as follows. Opening inventory 800 units, Degree of completion, process 1 material 100% completed and the cost is 47,000. Added material 40% completed and 6,000 is the cost. And the conversion cost is 30% and the total cost is 10,000. The total cost will be 63,000. During December 2003, 3,000 units were transferred from process 1 at a valuation of 181,000. Added material 96,000. Conversion cost were 118,000. Then you are given the closing inventory 1,000 units and the percentage completion 100% complete with respect to process 1, 60% complete with respect to added material and conversion cost workforce 40% complete. McFin uses weighted average cost system for the valuation of output and closing inventory. Prepare the process to account. Okay. Now, first and foremost, let's calculate work started and completed. Okay, completed units. We had opening inventory. Opening inventory is 800 units and transferred from process 1 3,000. So this is the introduced amount 3,000. The total is 3,800, of which there is a closing inventory of 1,000 units. So therefore, the work started and completed units will be 2,800 units. So this consists of opening 800. This is the opening inventory and completed during the process is 2,000. Okay. So when you value the opening inventory and the closing inventory under weighted average cost method. Okay. So this opening inventory is taken as 100% completed with regard to all the costs. And this is anyway 100% because it is completed during the period. So when you take when we value the opening inventory under FIFO, what we did was with regard to process 1 material, since it is already completed 100%, we took 0% completion in the process. Since it was completed 40% for added material, we took 60% to be completed in the process 2. Conversion cost, since it was already completed 30%, so therefore 70% to be completed. Okay, so this was the treatment under FIFO method. But under weighted average cost, regardless of this percentage completion, so what we need to take is 100% completion with regard to all the costs, because we have to take the weighted average cost of the total units. Okay, so this is the main difference between FIFO and weighted average cost method. Okay, now what are the basic steps in preparing the process account? So first of all, you need to prepare the these are the basic steps. What are the basic steps? First one is you need to calculate the equivalent units. Then you need to identify cost per equivalent units. Then you need to prepare the statement of evaluation. Statement of evaluation. Finally, we need to prepare the process account. Okay, first of all, we'll start with the statement of equivalent units. Now, as you know, the opening inventory is 800 and fully completed units we calculated as 2000 units, and the closing inventory 1000 units. Now, process one material degree of completion, as I explained you, since we are going to apply weighted average cost method, so we need to take as 100% completed. So opening inventory 100% completed with regard to process one, added material 100%, conversion cost is also 100%. Then fully completed units also 100% completed. Then closing inventory, which is 100% complete with respect to process one. So therefore, straight away we can take 100% since it is in the current process. The current process, the completion percentage is 60% in the with regard to added material. We take 60%, and conversion cost is complete 40%. So therefore, now we have calculated the equivalent units. Now we need to calculate the average cost, the weighted average cost per equivalent units. So here what we need to take, what we have to do is we need to take the opening inventory cost plus the cost incurred during the process. Okay, so then we need to take the average cost. So process one material 47, added material 6,000, and conversion cost 10,000. Okay, so 47,000, 6,000, and 10,000. Okay, then from process one, the material cost transferred is 181,000. Okay, so 181,000. Then added material 96,000 and conversion cost 118,000. So 96,000 and 118,000. Okay, so now let's take the equivalent units. 3,800 for added material 1, 3,400 added material, and 3,200 conversion cost. 3,400 and 3,200. So our cost per equivalent units will be, with regard to material process 160, added material 30, and conversion cost 40. Now let's prepare the statement of evaluation. Now material process 1, we have the equivalent units 800, 2,000, and 1,000. Okay, so let's take the relevant cost per equivalent units. Process 1 is 60, so therefore straight away we can apply 60 to all the categories. And added material equivalent units, you are given 800, 2,000, and 600. So the cost per equivalent unit is 30. We can use the cost per equivalent units. Then equivalent units for conversion cost is 800, 200, and 800, 2,000, and 400. The cost per equivalent units is 40. So therefore straight away we can use the rate. So your total cost will be 458,000. Here you can see 458,000, which is distributed among all these units. Okay, now let's move on to the process account. Process account, let's take the opening inventory. then material from process 1, then added material and conversion cost. So these are the costs. Opening inventory, we know 800 introduced and 3000 from process 1. So what are the relevant costs? You can see the opening inventory 800 is 63,000. And material process 1 is 181,000, 96,000 and 118,000. Much 181, 181,000, 96,000 and 181,000, 96,000 and 118,000. The total cost is 458,000. Then finished goods. Finished goods, we had how much? 2,800. So you can see the finished goods 2,800, which is the opening inventory and the completed units 2,800. The cost will be, you need to take these two costs, which is 364,000. 364,000, that is the cost, and the closing inventory will be 1,000. So the total is 3,800. And the cost of closing inventory is 94,000. Okay, so we'll take 94,000. So thereby your process cost is 458,000. So this is the answer for this particular question. So what we have done here is based on weighted average cost method, we calculated the opening inventory. The main difference here is on the weighted average cost method, what we need to do is we need to take the degree of completion as 100% completed, whereas under FIFO method, we have to take the remaining percentages to be completed in the process 2. Okay, so these are the process 1 completion, whereas in the process 2, we need to take the remaining percentage to be completed, because since we are applying first in, first out method. Okay, so if you have any questions, what you can do is you can comment below. I'll see you soon with another video. So thanks for watching and bye for now.